All right, we're back here for episode 5 of the KG Show, and today I'm sitting down with Grand Rapids tattoo artist and tattoo shop owner Ryan Spitzmiller. Ryan, welcome to the show, man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure, man. We met through, I think you saw like the work that I was doing with Soba, and we kind of just became internet buddies. And from there, like I've worked with you in your shop at Velouria. We've kind of just been from there, hit it off. And we've had some pretty good conversations over the phone, and I thought it would be really cool to have you come in here and sit down and have a conversation.
I think it's pretty cool. Going from like liking to like thumbs up in, and then like having a conversation is pretty fun.
So where I wanted to start is for the people who don't know you, who is Ryan Spitzmiller?
I'm just, I'm just myself. I really don't think I'm good at anything else. I just, I really don't know at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that there's a right answer to that. I mean, I just try to make people happy, try to not fuck anything up too bad throughout the day. I really don't want to be anything but me. I know it's too much of an effort. When I try to be anything, when I'm like, I need to do that, is where I get lost. I just kind of stick with the vibe and want to make people happy, smile, and just kind of spread some positivity.
Yeah,
Smile.
just reinforcing that positivity in people.
I mean, I think it's hard to define anything, really, because at least for me, then I have some kind of motive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether that's just because of trauma or overanalyzing shit because I can't stop when I think too much.
Yeah. Dude, I'm the same way, man. I mean, we've talked about that a lot. That was a conversation that we had, I think it was like a week or two ago. We kind of just by chance were on the phone. I accidentally called you. I meant to text you, and we ended up just having this like hour-long conversation, and we got into that, like overanalyzing things and overanalyzing our work. And we're both very guilty of that.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like I'll do a photo shoot. I was doing it last night. I was sitting out in the garage, and I'm looking at these photos that I took, and I know that they're good photos, but there are things that I'm like, I wish I could have done this differently, or this lighting was giving me trouble. And it's like, I'm just beating it to death. And then it becomes this thing where I'm just almost like, I don't even like these fucking pictures anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude, all the time. Whether it's like, how I set up that day to, the line work, the shading, the this, the that, or just, I mean, I wish I could take pictures. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can tattoo okay, but I'm not no fucking photographer. I look at the pictures and I'm like, ew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, but I think that you're the same. Is what you want, you're gonna get to. You're just not there yet. It's, going from A to Z, but you have to complete B, C, D. But you have the vision, you have the drive, you want it to get there. Nobody told you how much time and practice it's going to take for you to get that like perfect shot, or the lighting was off. Like, unless you can call God, I don't know how we can fix that,
Yeah. Have you ever heard of, it's a quote they call it The Gap by Ira Glass.
I haven't.
So it's super interesting, and there's audio of it somewhere. I'd have to pull it up for you, but he basically talks about how people start out and there's this period of time where you're not quite there yet. And like you have good taste, but your skills haven't caught up with your taste.
That makes a lot of sense.
And he calls that the gap. And I think that's where I find myself, like it's been 2.5 years with a camera.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm getting there. I'm getting to this point that I'm trying to achieve, but I'm still not quite there.
Yeah. I've heard very many iterations of that through the tattoo world by, the older generations and, even my mentor and several other people that I've worked with, where it's just like, you're not there yet, but you're on your way. Usually said much harsher with a lot of weird jokes and, other fucking things. But it's, it's that skill set. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day kind of shit,
Yeah.
But it's funny looking back for me now. I think I've been tattooing nonstop pretty much for 4.5 years now, where maybe the longest time I've taken off would be 18 days to finally take a vacation. And, I look at like the things a year ago that I struggled with, like, pulling a line a certain distance and at a certain angle on a certain part of the body that in my brain the whole time I am like, it's like holding in, a wet fart. I'm fucking panicking. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, oh my God. And like, I got this other guy at the shop that he's, a little bit newer to tattooing. And I'm like, hey man, you got to do it like this. And it's kind of funny because like, I remember, older guys coming in and be like, stupid, you're doing it fucking wrong. And they're like, do this, 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 and this. And I just like, you're like a deer in headlights. But I mean, that guy's been tattooing for 30 fucking years. Do it hungover, drunk, with one eye open, because it's like riding a bike. And it's funny because not too long ago that happened where I was the one saying, do this, and he didn't know what I meant. And like, putting on gloves, grabbing his machine and being like, let me show you. And having a bit of a softer approach instead of like the rough and tumble fucking old school crowd of, it's tattooing. So,
I feel like, I've been around quite a bit of tattooers over the years and at a lot of shops, and I've been working with tattoo artists over the last couple of years. A lot of them talk about how the game has changed. It's just not the same anymore. It's just, It's not that like old school of Hard Knocks deal anymore.
No, it is definitely not. But I mean, the world's changed.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been getting tattooed for a long time. I mean, I didn't start my journey into tattooing until I was 30. I was always a client, I loved a strange person hurting me because I was hurting inside,
Yeah.
And I wanted to look cool, which still doesn't work. I'm gonna be a fucking dweeb my whole life, and I'm fine with that. But the world's changed. I think that back in the day, it was very much the wrong crowd. I mean, the way society portrayed it, you know what I mean?
Well, there was definitely it was fully subculture.
Oh, 100%. I was illegal in New York. Like if you watch any of those old guys talking about that, like it is inspiring, but like I am so fucking lucky when I just decided, yeah, all right, maybe it's my time because of, everything we have at our disposal. I mean, I've watched a lot of old school guys be like, we didn't have that. And I'm like, I know, but I do.
Yeah.
And I am grateful that you didn't have that. You learned all these other ways because without those ways, one, we wouldn't have this. And two, I wouldn't know how to do it right. You know what I mean? But like the whole environment's changed. The private studio is like the thing now. People don't want to come into a loud, crazy shop as often. There's definitely people who like that, but I think that the world likes a quieter, calmer, relaxing thing when you're getting stabbed.
How do you feel about that though? Do you prefer it to be like the quieter, calmer situation, or did you like the kind of the edge of it? Like,
I'll be honest with you, I like the edge of it when I'm in the chair getting tattooed. Mm-hmm. I like that environment. However, when I'm working, I really don't. I like this one-on-one. Mm-hmm. I like to engage. I want to hear about how fucked up your life is. Like when most of the time when I'm tattooing people, and I remember we joked about it when I was having my panic attack the first time you filmed me while I was tattooing. We really don't always get to do that like bomb ass cool tiger ripping through bamboo, running from, skull fucking pandas, like that cool piece, that huge back piece. A lot of the time I lost my dog, my best friend, that person that was there for me when my anxiety was crippling at 1:30 in the morning. And then he pissed on my carpet, but I love him. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Or losing a parent, losing a child. I have clients that have come to me to the point where, I've put too many butterflies on them because they've lost children, and it's heartbreaking. It's hard. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there and I'm trying to like not lose my shit at the same time.
That's a lot to take in when you're tattooing someone.
It is, but it's an honor, man. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, like that traditional style tattooing, like I like that when I'm getting tattooed. I love the environment, it makes me feel cool, I guess.
Yeah.
But when I'm working, I like it quieter. I like it calmer. I don't want to listen to like fucking death metal. I like it fun and positive because a lot of my clients, you know, they want that interaction. They want an experience, and the experience I try to give is just an ear.
That's a really interesting concept to me because for a lot of people, the tattoo itself is the therapy.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
But there is something to be said about the relationship that you have with the tattoo artist for them to feel comfortable and vulnerable enough to just like to talk about those things.
Absolutely. So my landlord, you know, where the shop is, because, you know, I rent.
Yeah.
You know, in this economy. She's a counselor, and I've had multiple conversations with her about the therapeutic end. And I've joked with her about how a lot of the times I think clients will come to me before they seek help. And she looked puzzled by that. And I was like, you know, sometimes it's not their appointment with you know, a therapist or a counselor or whatever isn't for an extra couple of days. And they're just currently going through something. And sometimes I can see them talking about it with me because I'm a third party. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I might follow you on Instagram. I know your name because you signed the paperwork, but I don't know your life. I'm not there to judge you. I'm there to give you a tattoo. I'm there to help you feel better. And honestly, you know, when I watch you get up after we put the stencil on and look at yourself in the mirror, I see this little glimmer, you know, and I never stand where I can be in the mirror, like I can see myself in the mirror. And I watch you just all of a sudden, you know, like you stand up a little straighter. And then at the end of the tattoo, I see this like, it's really cool. Like I watch you fall in love with yourself more, almost, because you feel better about yourself, whether it's from the internal pain, body dysmorphia, fucking whatever it is. You're stoked. You just let me hurt you for a little bit. And now you're like, I feel more like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And she was like, my landlord was like, I never looked at it that way. And I'm like, it's kind of weird, but sometimes people really just need that, or they need to feel something. They need to get something off their chest. And I think it's pretty cool to kind of be there. However, sometimes I do think that I don't have the, you know, the credentials to tell you what to do next, but that's more rare.
I don't know that that's what they need all the time. I think a lot of people just want to be seen and they want to be heard. Yeah. And I think that's really cool that you are able to have the bandwidth to deal with that. Like, does that ever feel like heavy to you? Hearing these stories?
No. And I have one thing that without her, without Kayla, without my wife, without that one person, we talk about everything in general. There's never really a moment where I don't tell her. I tell her too much sometimes. I think I stress her out.
I do the same thing, man. My wife is like, that's like the running joke with my wife and I is, my brain wears her out.
Yeah.
You know, it is just, I'm constantly going. There is no stopping.
Yeah. And she's the same with me, I think, or I like to like think she is. But there are times where it is heavy. It's really heavy, you know, and then at the same time, there's moments where sometimes I make it heavy. I had a client recently who lost their dog, and it was really, you know, sad because I knew about her relationship with her dog. Her and her wife, that dog was the shit, you know what I mean? And it, you know, suddenly one day he wasn't there. I'm a cat person, but if anything happened to my little fur baby from hell, man, I would lose it. And I had just got done tattooing, like a crazy day, crazy busy. I think I held my pee in for too long that day too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just
for
like
sure. Yeah.
Everything was going nuts.
Don't eat. You're just running.
What's food?
Yeah.
Right? And I, you know, I get home, a shower, you know, I have like a fucking cheese stick, you know, I'm eating it in bed, you know, just talking to Kayla, and I open Instagram and a post came up from that client had posted about their dog. And I just looked at her, you know, and like she looks at me and I'm just fucking crying.
Oh man.
And like I felt that weight. And I remember just turning to her and I was like, I don't care when she messages me. I know she will. And she messaged me like 6 hours later, and I fit her in 2 days later. I stayed 3 hours past what I wanted to that day by my normal schedule just to be there for them because like I was sad. You know what I mean? So I chose that to be heavy. But like, it's never like anything too much. You know what I mean?
For sure.
It's just, it's a part of what we do. And I think that's kind of cool.
Why did you decide to open your own shop?
I really got sick of doing it for other people. I mean, I did not enjoy the environments, percentages, booth rent, things that I felt fed the pockets and egos of people who didn't care about me.
Definitely. I mean, I kind of had a similar experience. It's definitely different industries, right? I've had a construction company for 12 years now, but that's always been like the one constant is when I work for other people, I start to see, well, I could do this differently, or I want to do this way. I want to do it, you know, and start to figure out, I think I can do this better. And maybe that's just ego on my part, but I'd like to think that, you know, that's part of the entrepreneurial spirit, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my first mentor in tattooing, you know, Andy, I remember like, it was like the first fucking month and I was so stupid. You know, I knew nothing. I just like got tattooed and he was like, look, like for the first couple of months, you're going to do it my way or get the fuck out because I can teach you my way, but I want you to figure out how to do it better and make that your way. When you stop asking me questions and I don't have to keep telling you, don't do that, this is how it's done. I know you know it and I'll tell you how to do something else. I really think that, I don't think that it's ego. But if I were to show you how to do something or you were to show me, I would do it your way. And then I'd figure out how I do it.
Yeah, how to make it yours.
Yeah, but at the same time, we all have different processes.
100%.
So I think that's, I mean, to be successful in any business, I mean, because like I am like a tattooer, a social media person, part-time photographer, you know, a crazy person, you know, I have all these different roles I play. And what I watched was someone that did it better, but I watched that one thing that they struggled with. And 99% of the time they wouldn't let me help because it had to be their way, because blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But then like I took it that way and I'm like, all right, well, if I do it this way, it still works. It's easier. It's less effort. It's less of a process. And I don't know. I think that's the right way to do stuff.
What's been the biggest challenge of being a business owner versus just being an artist?
Remembering when the gas bill is due. I don't know, man. Like, the biggest challenge, I think, was waiting for the fucking state to show up to inspect. Was like my biggest fucking issue. Honestly, everything, I was really lucky. I had a friend really come in and help me get everything going and everything else. And I've kept the same formula that I've been doing when it comes to tattooing. I don't know. The internet, figuring out how to like be in the fucking algorithm.
We've talked about that a lot.
You know, that's how I became fucking friends with you. I'm like, please, sir, help.
Yeah. Social media marketing is just a never ending, constantly evolving dumpster fire.
I really don't know. Whatever challenge that I have not had beat me down yet, I'm ready for it.
Just going with the flow.
Just going with the flow. And, you know, sometimes it rains and sometimes it hails. And Michigan now has tornadoes all the time. So that's, a big panic of mine.
All right. So what's next for you and Velouria?
More tattoos. More fun. What I really want to start doing is I really want to have more things going on with the community. I want to do some flash events. I want to donate some stuff. We've got an event coming up in August with Pleasant Hearts Pet Food Pantry. Like when you're hungry and you need food for your family because you've had a stressful time or whatever it is, you can go get food at a pantry. But what about your fucking dog? What about your cat? And that's what they're there for. Not everyone's doing well. And it's really cool that there's somebody to make sure that your little furry best friend is taken care of too. So in August, we're going to do a little thing with them, and I'm going to donate all the money we make that day to them.
That's really cool, man.
And I want to do some stuff for like domestic violence, different mental health charities, anything local, whether it's for, families that have been impacted by ICE or anything else. I just want to fucking help people.
So where can people find you online?
They can find me on Instagram is always best. I'm not a big fan of Facebook, but we have that, Velouria Tattoo. Or you can add my page. It's really Ryan Spitz.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan, man, thank you for coming in today. I really appreciate it, man. It's been we went in a lot of different directions, but I think like the one constant is that you were here to help people and you really just want to do cool fucking tattoos.
Well, thanks, man. I mean, tattooing saved my life, and if it can help anyone feel better, I'm fucking into it. So, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Thanks
man.
dude.